morning. It is Thursday, September 20, no wait, what? I don't know where I am. Today's Thursday, September 15th. That's it. And today I'm going to talk to you about fitness. So last January I shared my 100-pound weight loss story, and when I did that I was hoping and planning to do like weekly segments about weight loss and fitness and maintenance and stuff like that, and that fell apart, and so I'm trying now to reestablish it. So at that point, the short version of the story, if you haven't seen it, is I lost a total of 100 pounds. I had an initial weight loss of 20 pounds, and then like 4 years later and another pregnancy later, I lost another 86 pounds. It took me 2 years to lose that 86 pounds. And I did it really simply. All I did was run in place 20 minutes a day in my kitchen, 5 days a week. I did some crunches eventually, but I think most of the weight loss had to do with the running. But yes, I did eventually have like a crunch routine that I did. And then I cut all the food on my plate in half. I had major issues with like just binge eating and portion control, and so I had huge plates of food, and instead of calculating in anything, all I did was I took the big plate of food, cut it in half, put the rest in the fridge, ate just half, and that was my portion control. And so over time I was able to learn realistic portion sizes. I just eyeball things. I look at, oh, this looks good. I also kind of pay attention to labels and just became mindful of it. It was that simple. So I maintained it for over I've done 4 years now. I'm going into my 5th year of maintenance. And the first 3 years were really easy. There was no problem. I stuck to the regimen. And then something happened in that 4th year where I kind of relaxed way too much. And I've gained back 8 pounds, which is not a big deal. But it's not what I want, and I know the reason for the weight gain is because I've overeaten, and I stopped making exercise my priority. Where I used to work out, like 4 to 5 times a week, I was now doing like 3 times a week, maybe. So I was off my game. And this was back in January. Okay, so I was off my game, and I was hoping that doing blogging segments on it would kind of help get me back on track, and it would help motivate others who are on their own weight loss journeys. And during that time, I also decided to go off of the routine that had worked for me for so long. I thought, after 6 years total, because the 2 years to lose it and 4 years of maintenance, so 6 years doing the same thing, my body was ready for something new. And I had a friend at the time I had a friend, not at the time, she's still my friend. I had a friend who had become a Beachbody coach. And so I decided to try 21 Day Fix Extreme by Beachbody. And I went ahead and started filming segments because I would plan to put all of this on the blog. I did an unboxing of the program, talked about that, and then like a week later did another video of some equipment that I had purchased on Amazon, and then did another video where I talk about the workouts. And my plan was to then piece it all together and do a full review of, so you would see in that video, you would see from the start of the review to I've been using it a few months and here are my results. Okay, so that was the plan. As with most of my blogging plans, it all kind of took more time than I had expected, and so I got behind on things. And unfortunately, by the time I was really ready to act on it, I had an injury and wasn't working out at all. This was like, I think March or April at this point. I don't remember. My time's like gone. But anyway, long story short, that's what happened. I dropped the ball. For anyone who did see that original video, and I got you excited because I know several of my real life people have seen it and were telling me that they were really looking forward to more. So I apologize for dropping that. But we're going to try to get back into it now. So here we are several months later. My opinion on Beachbody workouts is this, okay? And I've tried 21 Day Fix Extreme, and I've tried a couple other things with Beachbody On Demand. If you are going into Beachbody with the intent to lose a lot of weight and to keep it off long term, my personal opinion is to proceed with caution. My experience with the program, they really push this thing called Shakeology, which is a supplement. I avoid supplements like the plague. If it's not a reasonable diet that I can do in my everyday life and it doesn't cost extra money, then it's not going to work for me. And the thing with any shake supplement is A, you're supplementing a meal. B, you become reliant on that supplement for your weight loss, and that's kind of dangerous because if you're in a life situation where you don't have access to it, oh my God, what are you gonna do? And it was just really expensive. So I never tried Shakeology, but I know a lot of people who have and swear by it. But for me, that's why I chose not to do it. I think that if you are trying to lose weight and you want to be able to keep it off long term, you need to be as streamlined as possible. Anytime that you are doing a supplement, it's not streamlined anymore. It's out of your normal everyday life. Okay, so just kind of something to keep in mind. And again, that's just my personal opinion. The other thing with the program, in terms of using it as actual weight loss itself, that makes me so nervous is they really push the diet to an extreme extent. I mean, they cut back your calories big time, like too much. And it isn't healthy and it isn't realistic to do that kind of a diet long term. I think that if you are a person who's already in shape and say you have a special event that you want to go to, okay, I totally get going on that level of a diet, caloric restrictions to get you there, but don't expect to maintain that long term because it is not realistic, okay? The other thing is if you did follow their plan, you will lose a lot of weight and you will probably lose it quickly. There's no question. It will work. The problem and the place where I question it is in the maintenance. Again, how realistic is it to live everyday life to that extreme? Can you guys hear all the crows? They're kind of going crazy right now. Again, I'm starting to shoot outside because my house has zero lighting in it. And I finally figured out if I shoot outside, I have good lighting. The problem is that I have to put up with really loud crows. Okay, we're back. Beachbody for me was a lot of fun. It was fun to follow the workouts. It was something new and different. And so I was looking at it as, okay, this is a way to mix up my workout regimen. And I think if you use it in that regard, it's great. If you use it as a great fun workout, it's great. If you choose to follow it as a program for weight loss, I'm skeptical for your maintenance. Like I said, it will work. There's no way it can't. It restricts you big time, but I don't know about that maintenance. I totally injured myself doing these programs. That's not the fault of the program itself. It's a very high intensity, high impact thing. And it turned out that I had no cartilage left in my knees. I didn't know that. I had no symptoms of it. But the injury that I received and the x-rays and everything else, that's what we figured out is, I had very little cartilage left in my knees, and then the really high intensity, high impact workouts of it that are very knee-based, lower leg-based, tore up a lot of what I had left. And so I did tear up and damage cartilage. Again, not the program's fault. I'm not saying you're gonna get injured doing it. No, it's just you gotta be really careful. And I did follow proper alignment, things like that. But again, it's hard when you're doing an intense workout and a high speed and you're worrying about form. That form deteriorates really quickly, especially when you get tired. And that's kind of what happened with me, is my form had deteriorated. I had no one there yelling at me, oh, you're leaning forward too much, or you're doing this too. No, And that's kind of what happened. So be careful with any workout. And yeah, that's just kind of my little review of Beachbody's 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix Extreme. A lot of fun, but you know, take it with a grain of salt, especially if you're in it for a large amount of weight to lose, or you're in it hoping that you'll be able to maintain it long term, because I know several people who've used the program for that reason, to lose weight. Not like I did where I just wanted to add variety, but they used it to lose weight. They lost it, but they gained it back really quickly after. So that's that. So back to where I am now. I had gained that 8 pounds and I still have it. After my injury, I mean, it took probably close to 3 months before I was able to work out again, and that brought me to June, and I started getting back onto my routine, and unfortunately had family tragedy happen, and my mom died, and I hadn't worked out since. So I'm back to, I haven't worked out in months, and now I'm trying to get back on that schedule. I've decided to go back to the basics that worked for me in the first place. I'm gonna go back to 20 minutes running in place. If I can push myself through, work up to 30 minutes, maybe 45, because at my most recent point I was up to 30 to 45 minutes each time. But I'm going to start back at 20 again, because that gives me the minimum of what my body requires, and I have to kind of get back into shape. And I need to curb my eating again. I'm snacking way too much. I need to go back to what worked for me, paying attention to my portion sizes, paying attention to how many extra calories I'm choosing to eat each day, and being more mindful of it. So I will keep you guys all posted. I think, again, in my experience, weight loss was a lot easier than maintenance. To gain 8 pounds over a 4-year period, or after a 4-year period, really is not a big deal, but it feels like a big deal to me as someone who lost so much, because it signifies that loss of control. And that's what I need to get back, is control over myself. And it's weird how that is the big struggle. You know, when you're really overweight, you hit bottom. And so you're desperate. And like, I was desperate, and I was willing to really be strict with myself and stay on it. I mean, I was consistent, and that's how I lost the weight. Consistent. When I plateaued, didn't matter, stayed consistent, because I knew that the behaviors I was doing were what was going to be successful in the long run. The problem was when, in my maintenance, I lost the consistency. And so I'm gonna go back and try to get that back. So thank you for joining me today. I'm going to try to keep up on these posts this time, and we need to inspire each other. So whether you're here because you're wanting to lose a lot of weight and you need some inspiration, or you're here because you've struggled with your maintenance, or maybe you haven't struggled with your maintenance but you are maintaining, I don't know, I think the more support we all give each other, the better. So thanks for stopping by. Have a good day.